Hey everybody, this is Rick with Social Good Software. In this short demo, I'm going to be walking you through the process of how tickets work inside of Altru, and more specifically around guest passes for ticketing. So this is guest passes that might be issued by your members. We're going to go ahead and show you how they work, and then share with you where we fit in for everything here. So inside of Altru, you have your guest passes. Guest passes can be attached to a specific membership. So I'll do guest passes here. So if you have a few memberships, you have some sort of guest passes attached to them. So I'll go ahead and just show you a couple of levels here. So maybe we'll have level 1 and we have level 3. And then let's say right here in level 1, this person doesn't get any guest passes. Level 2 gets 2 guest passes, and then level 3 gets 4. Now these guest passes can be for the year. So for example, level 2 members can bring 2 guests anytime they visit. They can also be one-time guest passes. So depending on how you want to set them up, they can go either way. I'm just going to show you the example here of one-time use. So if a level 1 member shows up and they're like, I have these 3 guests, then they will have to pay, right, for their 2 additional guests. But if a level 2 member shows up and they're like, hey, I have these 2 additional guests, well, what happens next is that they get pulled up inside of the Altru system with their membership ID. So we'll do the lookup ID here. So they get pulled up inside of Altru with the lookup ID. This then pulls up their record. Inside the record inside of Altru, you can see if they redeemed their passes. So it will tell you how many are available. So in this case, there's 2 of them available, right? And then the guest services staff can then choose like, oh, they're gonna redeem this one and they're gonna redeem that one. So next time they show up, they won't have those 2 redemptions available because they have already been redeemed. And then for the next one here is for the level 3 where they have 4, and it's the exact same thing as the other one. So we're going to do 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll have essentially 4 guest passes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So if a level 3 member shows up, right, and they have 2 guests with them, then they'll be able to use these 2, right? And then if they show up again with no additional guests, they'll still have the 2, right? But if they show up one more time and then with 2 other guests, then they're able to use that. And then finally, if they show up the 3rd time and they're like, hey, I have 2 additional guests, then they will not be able to because they essentially have used their 4 options there. So that's in short how guest passes work inside of Altru. The only limitation here within the guest passes is, draw this out on the right hand side for you, is that guest passes only work in person. So guest passes will not work online. So if you try to redeem them online, they will not work. Unfortunately for us, we cannot do anything to make them work online. So the redemption piece of it still has to be done in person. And that's the important part here, is that it has to be redeemed in person. So redemption is in person. And then finally, what we do to help you is with the digital membership card, you're able to pull up the constituent, right? So you scan in the membership card. This then looks them up with a lookup ID, which then tells you how many guest passes they have. So that's how you can go ahead and have that. And then what we allow you to do is that we allow you to have a specific design for each level, right? So you would have essentially, in this case, you would have 3 designs, right? So you have level 1 design, level 2 design, and then level 3 design. And then what you can do is you can color code them. So you can say, well, our level 1s are red, right? Our level 2s are white, and then our level 3s are yellow. So that you can color code them. So when a guest shows up with a level 1 that is red, your guest services already knows, like, hey, we're not going to look up this person. We're just going to go ahead and charge them because they're level 1, right? And if they show up with a white one, then be like, oh, that's a level 2. Let's make sure they have any guest passes available and if they want to redeem them. And then finally, if they're level 3, they'll have the yellow one, which then will allow you to do that. Redemption. So you can create as many of these levels as you like. In this case, I just shared with you 3, but you can have different designs, different levels. You can have the different look and feel for each of the cards, which makes it a little bit easier for guest services to be able to check out. And then also makes it a little bit easier for the guests for them to be able to get redeemed. And then also, if somebody shows up with a level 2, your guest services can quickly tell them about all the great benefits of becoming a level 3 member.
And that's going to go ahead and do it here for me. Once again, this is Rick from Social Good Software. Hopefully you found this video helpful. We're always looking to improve and make things better. If something was not clearly explained in this video, or maybe you just are still a little bit confused and have some additional questions that we didn't talk about in the video, don't worry, we're here to help. Please go over to socialgoodsoftware.com/feedback. You're able to provide us feedback on this training. You're able to provide us feedback on the software. We're always looking to improve. So if you have any suggestions, please reach out to us. Again, socialgoodsoftware.com/feedback. You'll be able to go ahead and share your thoughts with us, and we're always happy to help.